Alright, hi, my name is Katie, and I'm doing this project for my Bible as Literature class, English 257, and I'm doing my project on Genesis 6, 1 through 8. The first time I read this, I was really puzzled because I didn't really know what it was about, and I didn't really understand it, and I'd never heard of anything like that in the Bible before. So, first, let me read this for you. When people began to multiply on the face of the ground, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that they were fair, and they took wives for themselves of all that they chose. Then the Lord said, My spirit shall not abide in mortals forever, for they are flesh. Their days shall be 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went into the daughters of humans who bore children to them. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the main points that the theories are based off of. The sons of God, the daughters of men, and the Nephilim. Now, these things are really weird because they're really subjective, and they're mostly, people interpret them in different ways. But we have three main theories about this passage of Scripture and what these three things might mean. Now, the first theory is that the daughters of men were actually the daughters of the ungodly people, the Canaanites. And that the sons of God were actually the godly people, the Sethites. Now, there's a few problems with this theory, and I don't really find it very believable at all. But the first problem is that the Canaanite people are definitely ungodly, but there's nothing in the passage that makes the reader think that the men are specifically Canaanites. The problem with the sons of God being the Sethites is that while there were a few Sethites that were godly people, it doesn't mean that all of them were godly, and it doesn't mean that people called them the sons of God. The phrase, the sons of God, is only used in the Bible a few times, and in each of those instances, it is used to talk about angels or divine beings. Especially in Job, it's used 2 or 3 times, and it's talking about the angels that come to visit Job. Now for theory number 2. This theory says that the sons of God are actually just powerful rulers. During this time in history, kings were often referred to as sons of deities or actually just a god themselves. So this would lead to the conclusion that in the Bible, when they said the sons of God, they actually just meant a king or a person that held a position of power. The problem with this theory is, like I said before, the only time the sons of God is ever used in the Bible is to describe angels. Never to describe a king or a person that holds a position of power. Never. And last but not least, the final, most popular theory. This theory basically says that the sons of God were actually fallen angels. They had come down to earth from heaven. The sons of God had then taken the daughters of man to be their wives, meaning the just human females to be their wives, and they had children that were not immortal like them, like the angels, but they did live to be very old, and they were very handsome and very tall. They were the Nephilim. The Nephilim is also translated in the King James Version of the Bible as giants. So you could go to assume that they were very tall people and very handsome, and the females of the earth just really wanted to have babies with them. Now, we do have some pretty cool evidence for this. Jude, verse 6 says, And the angels who did not keep their own position, but left their proper dwelling. So they left their proper dwelling. This means, at least I think it means, that they could have gone to earth and just created havoc, and the Lord was not happy with them. Yahweh, he didn't like it. No, he was not going to have that. Not having angels mating with the women of the earth. Even though the women were like, oh, angels, come have babies with me, be my baby daddy, yeah. And no, Yahweh, no, he was not having it, no. So, I think that this is pretty good evidence It is a little bit subjective. You do kind of have to read into it a little, but I think that it works. So they left their proper place and they came to live on Earth with us human ladies. Thanks for watching my project, and I got most of my sources from gotquestions.org, bible.org, and carm.org, and thank you for watching. I hope you learned something.